It's a Star Wars podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's Darth David. It's Jedi Jared. It's the best new Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. My God, we have a big announcement to make. Right now, we're going to make it in 2 weeks. We're going to celebrate one year of Yaddle, Chattle, ladies and gentlemen. I am shocked that we have made it one year on this show with,
Me too.
Plenty of fighting, a lot of threats, a lot of name calling, a lot of anger, some near physicality. But
no, we've never gotten that far.
I have been close to beheading you with my lightsaber.
Okay.
On more than one occasion, so I can't say that.
Okay.
Now maybe no physicality from your standpoint, which is smart. Not only am I a Sith, but I'm 8 inches taller than you.
I'm not particularly scared of that.
You're very confident with your karate background that you can take me down?
Yes.
You know, I played sports, and I have I have a crazy attitude as well.
It's not going to make a difference when I take you to the ground.
Oh, you know what, folks? If you want to see a Yaddle Chow pay-per-view, that's the one. The two hosts. Because I wasn't even prepared to have this as a topic, but this is sensational. You think you could beat me?
If you want to step on the mat,
No.
I've offered that.
I'll tell you what.
To step on the mat with me.
I'll step on the mat with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna step on the goddamn mat with you, pumpkin, and I'm gonna wipe you up with it.
Okay.
Let me just show the Yaddle Chattle fans watching on YouTube the height disparity. We're gonna have to go to the end of the room here.
Okay.
I'm actually off camera, and this is again because we do these shows live or also on YouTube. Look at the height disparity here. Look at this. Look at this. You think this guy's gonna beat me? Look at this. By the way, I have slippers on. Look at the size advantage.
Okay.
No, but I mean honestly, how do you account for the size advantage that I'll have as a Sith Lord with your feeble little Jedi maggot skills that you think, oh, I know karate, David, and so that's gonna help me.
I've been very fortunate to train over 4 years at the Hollis Gracie Academy of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Old Bridge, New Jersey.
Look at this guy. Some kind of famous location, I suppose? I mean, you're saying it like it's famous.
Anyone who practices Jiu-Jitsu knows who Hollis is, who knows who his cousin Henzo is.
Henzo?
Yes.
What is this, the cast of Kill Bill over here?
No.
I mean, I haven't heard of any of these people. I heard of Darth Vader. I've heard of Palpatine. I've heard of Darth Maul. I mean, none of these names.
You've heard of Matt Serra, right?
Here's the number one name I know in karate.
Henzo.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Anything I get from karate, I get from Jean-Claude Van Damme. So if it's not Van Damme or sometimes Steven Seagal. And I know he's gone really nuts with the fatness and the Russian and this and that.
Well,
but that's Pat Morita. He was one of the great karate experts of our time and a Colgate sponsor, too. People always forget that with the Colgate. But Pat Morita, a great Colgate spokesman, but also with the karate.
Well,
so those three, Van Damme.
Was he Arnold?
He was Arnold as well. Of course he was Arnold. But everyone remembers Arnold. Everyone remembers Karate Kid. No one remembers when I was a kid, he was always the Mr. Colgate guy. You know, hey, it's Pat Morita, man. He kind of sounded like he was on Cheech and Chong.
Oh, no, he was heavily...
He was like, hey, man, make sure, kids, you have your Colgate. And I'm like, that's what Mr. Miyagi sounds like in real life?
He's an American citizen. He was born and raised here.
I know! Well, actually, I didn't know. I'm sorry. It was the 80s. We weren't always enlightened.
His nickname, I know this is going to sound a little un-PC, but it's on his Wikipedia page. His nickname was the Hip Nip.
Oh, that's awful that you would say that live on the Yaddle Chattle airwaves. Now listen, we have a big show. I can't believe this show just started off with an announcement that Jedi Jared said he would kick Darth David's rear end in a fight. I mean, the Yaddle heads. This is some excellent breaking news right here. But the reason why I was excited is because in 2 weeks we are going to be celebrating our 1 year anniversary. I say 2 weeks. We are off next week. Programming alert, Yaddle fans. You will be getting no Yaddle Chattle on our usual day our usual drop day is Friday. No Yaddle Chattle on Friday. April 28th, but we will return
For Star
after
Wars
that
Day.
for the 1 year anniversary. Does that happen to be on May the 4th?
Yeah.
Perfect. Look at that. May the 4th, and we're going to be celebrating. It just so happens our 1 year anniversary.
I think it comes out the episode will
Well,
drop on May the 4th,
regardless, that's
so.
fantastic timing on our parts. It's because, honestly, we've been going strong for a year with Yaddle. I mean, I think we've only had one missed week.
2.
Really, 2?
Yeah.
Even with all of the holidays and stuff.
We took off. We took off for my wedding or my baby, and then we took off for the Lord's birthday.
For the Lord's birthday. Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty darn good. So basically, we've had 52 episodes in 54 weeks. So let's not get on our case. 2 weeks, we'll be back. No Yaddle on Friday, April 28th, or that weekend. Don't be refreshing the phone. Don't worry, it's not going to happen. But then it returns in early May for May the 4th and for the 1 year anniversary of Yaddle Chattle. Come on.
Do we get away with doing a clip show?
No, because we have the worst technology. We don't have a board even. We use a Beats speaker to do our music. Now, of course, we're going to be talking. Today is a big-time Mandalorian episode. Mandalorian season finale is going to, be the highlight of the program. And then maybe we should discuss what we thought about season 3 in general and where we're going with season 4. Okay? But I did want to hit a couple of news stories right off the bat real quick.
Okay.
First of all, Al Pacino just did an interview in Variety where he says he gave, this is his a line, he gave Harrison Ford his career because he turned down the role of Han Solo.
I recall we did this once on Special Delivery where we went through all the roles that Burt Reynolds had turned down.
You're right.
And Burt Reynolds had been offered
everything.
Sonny,
he Godfathers, Apocalypse Nows, maybe Chinatown's. I think Chinatown was in there. Everything was Burt Reynolds.
Everyone.
He made the worst. He made Smokey and the Bandit and Cannonball Run, which I like, but he had big time roles that would have made him an absolute legend. And Al Pacino turning down Han Solo is fantastic. I want to see Al Pacino in the Death Star, when he's wearing the Stormtrooper thing and he's talking to the guy, what's going on up there? And he does that, boring conversation. Anyway,
yeah!
It's a reactor leak. Don't send any people up here, negative. We got a bad leak, boring conversation anyway, Chewie, I would love to see Al Pacino doing that.
Well, this is before he went over the top. So
right,
it would have been more soft spoken. I'm Han Solo, Captain of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, that kind of
the Michael Corleone, Dog Day Afternoon.
Look here, Worship. I'm only in this for the money. Okay. When he says that to her at the end, hey, I'm only in this for the money, Worship. Hooah! Yeah. But Al Pacino as Han Solo would have changed things dramatically. First of all, Al Pacino shorter than Mark Hamill. So who are you going to have to play Luke Skywalker? Vern Troyer? Isn't Han supposed to be a little bit of a bigger guy? It made sense. He's with Chewie and stuff like that. No, short Han Solo like that.
I mean, there was a lot of people that have tested for those roles. Kurt Russell could have. You could have seen Kurt Russell.
Oh, that we have. Yeah, we have the footage of Kurt Russell there. We have the footage of
Williams reading for.
I was gonna say Shirley from Laverne and Shirley. We have the footage of her,
Princess Leia,
which makes sense because she worked with George on American Graffiti. But the casting was perfect. You don't need to say, wonderful girl. Either I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her. Although a lot of Han Solo lines fit that Pacino delivery.
Well,
that whole a Jedi Knight, I'm out of it for just a little while, and everybody's got delusions of grandeur. Although I think my Pacino's morphing into Christopher
Walken,
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher
Walken.
I mean, could you see Christopher Walken as Han Solo? He's taller.
Yeah, too psychotic. Too much of the crazy. Han was supposed to be a fun partier type. Kind of a fun...
Yeah, but,
life of the party, who also happens to be a smuggler.
That's the first act of the Deer Hunter. Is Christopher Walken's the life of the party at the wedding?
Yeah, he's not convincingly.
What are you talking about? He's dancing.
Yeah, I know.
What's her face is all about Meryl's all kind of
doesn't
about
work.
him. No.
Doesn't work. Listen, Deer Hunter's a brilliant movie. That's beside the point. Christopher Walken jumping around, dancing like a bozo is the low light of the movie for me. The highlight of Christopher Walken is the Deer Hunter part. Yes. Do you ever play the game Beer Hunter?
Oh yeah.
Where you you shake up cans of beer and put it in front of each other, and whoever opens up that thing that sprays them in the face, they have to drink the rest of the 6-pack.
Yeah.
That's always fun. I always like that one.
I always preferred Roxanne.
What's Roxanne?
If you play Sting's Roxanne, and every time they say Roxanne, you have to drink.
Okay. Jeez. That's crazy.
It's a lot of fun. It's my favorite drinking game.
The other thing, and we'll, I guess, discuss this in a couple weeks. Maybe not. Maybe let's just discuss it right here, actually, now that I think about it. And only here is in 2 weeks, Peloton, the bicycle company, is going to be doing a Star Wars Day. You can work out with Sam Yo, as Sam Yo plays John Williams Star Wars music and gives you a bunch of phrases and gets you to work out 30 minutes on Star Wars Day on May the 4th with Peloton. Are you interested? Will Jared be going to this?
No, I don't have Peloton.
You do not have a Peloton machine?
No, I have a used, broken spin cycle that I got off a Facebook Marketplace for $135.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah,
it's an incredible investment. Now
I know a lot of people who have a Peloton, but they don't use it, and so I'm actually now publicly asking, if you have a Peloton and you don't use it, please send it to me before May the 4th, because I want to do this little exercising Star Wars Day thing.
I think we kind of buried the lead, though, because next week, July 28th, Return of the Jedi returns to theaters.
Well, it's April 28th.
April 28th.
And that's not the lead. It's just another story that we could add.
Okay.
You're a very weird person when you say things like that.
Did I?
Our lead needs to be programming alert, discussing what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay. And I shouldn't. And now we're talking about the ins and outs of a fucking podcasting format, which is why I hate you. I hate you. What you said made no sense. We're burying the lead.
Well, I mean, that's big news.
No, it's not. The big news in Star Wars Galaxy is the Man-dalorian finale, dope.
Well, that's what
just
yeah, but we know.
Let the Dave Man keep the pulse on Star Wars. You just come in here with no show prep, and you just put your fat little fingers there, and you just let me do all the goddamn work around here.
You guys heard that. You heard that. You heard that, okay?
Anytime, I always forget. I can never give Jared an opening to do less work and or to quit, because he will take me up on it. So I take back what I said instantly.
Okay.
I know, but you're talking about burying the lead. I'm doing a story. I'm doing a bit. And you just right. I mean, I guess that's done with the Peloton thing, right? Because you fucking switch gears on my ass. Is what I'm saying.
I'm sure someone has a Peloton they can lend you.
I know, but I could have done something funny, like is what I'm saying. But instead, let's go into the Return of the Jedi.
What? You're going to be like this? Dun, dun. You're going to play our theme song? Do, 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 do.
I know how to do like improv segments, believe it or not. Have you ever seen me do like improv, a funny character or segment?
Oh, yeah.
And it's worked?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going to go with the Peloton thing. But you know what, stupid? Let's just move on. Return of the Jedi is next week.
Yes. I'd like to go see it. Are you going to go see it?
Don't look at me. Don't do this. Look at them.
Okay, I'm looking at them.
And? Are you seeing it?
I'd like to.
What time? I want to make sure I'm not in the theater when you are.
Well, don't worry.
I want to absolutely make sure we are not in the same screening after this, after those comments.
I will not even be in the same time zone when it comes out. So
what?
Yes.
Oh,
that's why our program.
You're going down south.
Yes.
It's where you are. I happen to know is the same time zone.
No, it's not.
Do you own a map?
I'd bet money that where I'm going to be is not in Eastern time zone.
Okay, well they're in the SEC. They're in the Southeast Conference. So the school is in the Southeast Conference.
That doesn't mean it.
It usually means those teams are in the Eastern Conference time zone.
Alabama's in Central.
I have no idea about Alabama. I've never been there. All right, next. Let's stay focused today, weirdo. What is up? You're a little bit spacey, huh?
Tired.
Okay, buddy. Let's get focused and go one topic at a time and talk to each other like people.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi comes out next Friday. Will you be in attendance?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say? This is a radio show.
It's a radio show.
Go ahead and speak.
Oh no, I'm kind of hoping that'll just be. I would love for them to do the original cut without all the special tech, all of the stuff.
The original Lopty Neck song?
Yeah.
I do prefer the Lopty Neck song over the new song, although the new song has good CG in it, like new characters and stuff.
I love how they brought her in the Clone Wars when she was like with Jabba's cousin or nephew. One of the other the Hutt syndicates was like in love with her or something.
I don't recall that. That's a deep track.
Yeah, it is a deep track.
What else from Return of the Jedi, though? Speaking of Return of the Jedi.
I want to... Well, Ewoks, obviously.
I'm just saying.
The fight scene at the end is the best part.
Okay. For me, definitely going to be seeing Return of the Jedi in the theater. First of all, it's been 40 years. It was the first movie I ever saw. First movie I recall seeing in the theater. I'm sure I was taken to the movie theater at a young age. It's the first movie theater experience I can still remember to this day. I remember being overcast, getting in the car. It was like 72 degrees, but also drizzling, like a sunny shower type thing. We went into the old brown and orange Volkswagen van, went down to Brick, New Jersey, saw it right there, had a great time. Got myself some Milk Duds, Daddy. Oh, what an experience. One of the formative experiences of my entire life. I think it not only reinforced my love of Star Wars, but it probably made me just an overall movie fan. That's how big it was. The Jabba stuff on the big screen is spectacular. You get the feeling and the size and the scope and the presence of a actual 2,000-pound puppet. You know, and again, I got nothing bad to say about the CG. I personally love the way the Hutts looked in the Book of Boba Fett. No arguments, would like to see more Hutts. But that puppet, is just how massive it was. And we knew, and there's people inside it. There's like 5 guys inside it, a little person in the tail. That was incredible. Also, seeing the Emperor at the end for a little kid was amazing. Because it was scary.
He's super
People
scary.
don't have that concept right now. That it was terrifying for a kid. I thought Luke was dead. I didn't see how he's getting out of this one. Or I thought Luke is going to turn bad. I was like, Luke is not. He's got Vader and the Emperor, and they're just all over him.
Lots of peer pressure.
Yeah, I just didn't like what was going on. And I'm thinking maybe the thing with Luke, like I thought maybe he would just try to stall, like literally just like hang on to the Emperor and Vader, knowing that the Death Star was going to get blown up. So that was another one of my things. Like maybe he's just going to hide for the rest of the movie so that the Death Star gets blown up. But at the same time, I was nervous that means he was going to sacrifice himself.
Would have been a hell of an ending.
So I am beyond thrilled for Return of the Jedi. I will be there. And that's the lead. That is the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Davey Mack will be there. Darth David will be at Return of the Jedi. One last thing. Damon Lindelof says, Jared.
Yes.
He says his script, his Star Wars script, was a labor of love. Now, if you look at that, and that's a new quote. Remember, he had a previous quote. He says, when it comes to Star Wars, if it can't be great, it shouldn't be made. Now, after that quote from a couple weeks ago, he's putting this quote on. Is he playing a game where he still wants in? He still wants in. Maybe this is not for Kathleen Kennedy. Maybe this is for Bob Iger's ears. Like Bob Iger, the Lost guy, the Mr. Success guy over here, has a great, great script that they're screwing around with. Do you think, conspiracy theory, do you think the story group is screwing around with Damon Lindelof's script and that's what has got him on the outs?
He's very hot and cold. His stuff's okay. Some of his stuff's great. Some of his stuff falls flat. Like everyone talks about how awesome Lost is.
I love Lost.
I watched like the first couple of seasons. I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good show.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why it was so hyped up. But I did like Watchmen. I thought that was a pretty good series.
Watchmen was fantastic.
So, and then
hold on. Let me just ask you.
My wife
do you need a shot of meth or
caffeine
something?
Doesn't work on me.
I mean, I feel like you're a robot who's just on his last few circuits. You're kind of talking and then just shutting yourself down.
I'm trying not to. I'm really not. I'm trying to keep energy up.
Talk to the Yaddle heads. We can never be phony on this show.
No, I'm not.
So what has got you all messed up today? I'd like to know.
I had to do an extra thing that it kind of screwed up my whole schedule. So.
Oh, all right. Is that extra thing because of me?
No.
Boss man?
No.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay.
Well,
just how about this?
No, I swear.
Pretend to have energy for the last, half
the
an
back
hour.
half? Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
No, I'm like about him. I'm about J.J. Abrams. I'm about his whole crew of guys. And anytime they get involved with something, I'm very scared because these guys, I don't know if they actually understand how to do something right. Like sometimes Watchmen was great. And my wife watched Watchmen, never really seen the movie and thought it was great. And then my wife was about Leftovers.
Okay, some of these guys don't understand the concept of a payoff, which I believe Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have a great understanding of the payoff. And the payoff in anything is incredibly important. And if you don't do it, if you keep just dragging people along, they feel like they're being strung along. And they turn on you. And I do think that J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, in some ways, strung people along. They just weren't ready to commit. J.J. gave the whole thing to Rian Johnson. He needed to make some big decisions, but all of the big decisions that he made were the wrong ones, killing main characters and stuff. And, as far as Lindelof goes, I like Lost a lot. I just want to know what's going on with this Lost script. If he is saying that he wrote a script and it was great and maybe Disney is taking it away from him, because that's to me that's what it's sounding like. That he is no longer on the project and they're going to use the basis of his script, and that's why he's publicly saying that, hey, that script was my labor of love. And so he's pretty much saying, well, you guys shouldn't do my script because it's my script. And I had a passion for this. You guys don't. I think that's what's happening here.
Or there were some good ideas and it was a dog shit thing that Kathleen Kennedy wrote and gave her big thumbs up and said, this is a great script. Bob Iger read it and was like, this is shit. But there's some good ideas here. Let's hire some people to fix it. Or
the opposite. Kathleen Kennedy was the one who said, thank you for the beginning of the script, and we're going to do some other stuff with it now.
I don't know. I mean, he's in the same camp with J.J. Abrams, so it's very I don't know.
All right. Should we go into Mando? Season finale?
What else? Do you have any other source?
That's it.
Okay.
For now.
You know what? I want to go back real quick to the Pacino thing.
Yes, sir.
Because I find it interesting. Christian Bale, who wants to do Star Wars, has mentioned doing Star Wars.
He has, hasn't he?
We could totally see him playing either a really great bad guy or a good guy. Doesn't matter.
He could have played Thrawn. He would have been the greatest Thrawn of all time. Even though I'm very excited for Mikkelsen, Christian Bale as Thrawn would have been something else. But go ahead.
He thanks Leonardo DiCaprio all the time for turning down American Psycho, because American Psycho basically transitioned him from kid actor to got him basically got him Batman.
Yeah.
So
no, I know.
It's very interesting. And then I saw an article recently that Johnny Depp had turned Johnny Depp and another Mark Wahlberg had turned down Ocean's 11 or one of the Ocean's movies.
Why would they do that?
And then George is like, they all regretted it, and
of course.
He's like, I'm regretting still doing Batman.
Yeah, of course. It's stupid.
It's very interesting how one casting change could have completely changed all of Star Wars forever, and it just was so perfect. Those three people.
Oh, absolutely. You can't get better casting than the casting that they did on the original trilogy. In fact, I'm pretty much a big fan of the casting across the board. I really liked Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. And Natalie Portman in the first movie. I mean, Natalie Portman wasn't that important. It wasn't as important as actually when you really look back on it. Not so important. She's in a substantial amount of Attack of the Clones, but I hate to say it, those are a lot of scenes that I fast forward. Frolicking in the garden, he's dancing on some sort of animal, he's floating apples into her, all this kind of thing. I don't need that. All right. Now,
the end though, when you see her midriff, that's pretty. And she's in that tight white outfit.
Now. The other thing about, but I did love the casting of Samuel Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
In the prequel trilogy, and Ian McDiarmid getting him back, and him being in a substantial role as Palpatine was great. And as far as the sequel trilogy goes, I love all the young actors. I mean, the core four. All right? Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, and Adam Driver. The core four.
You can't fault actors when they're given not great material to work with.
Yeah, I mean, that was also one of the things that people would get all mad at Hayden Christensen for complaining about sand. And I'm like, you do know that's Anakin Skywalker complaining about sand, A, and B, it was written by George Lucas. Don't blame Hayden.
I believe the insult was Mannequin Skywalker because he kind of delivered it like a robot.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and it gets in your clothes and everywhere. Then sometimes when you're at the beach and you're trying to put away your swimsuit, you get more sand in your face. And sometimes you're training on the beach with your lightsaber wiffle ball and you get sand all over it. Sand. I don't know. It wasn't so bad. Mando.
I just think the character was poorly written.
Mando,
yes.
Season finale.
Let's jump in.
Let's go. You start. I want you to start because you gotta get you gotta pump it up.
It was awesome.
It was.
I was
awesome.
enjoying. It was action packed from beginning to end. We got all of this resolution, and they've set up for the next saga.
I just want to be on the record of all the shows on the internet, of all the blogs on the internet, of anything Star Wars related on the internet. It's quite possible. The greatest twist of all time is that it's quite possible Yaddle Chattle is the most positive, optimistic show, blog, vlog, etc. out there. It's the truth. Because I told you people.
It's all written by Zoomers.
We've just said that Jon Favreau is great at payoffs. He has established this time and time and time again. The one thing that he knows how to do nearly as well as George Lucas is to set something up and then pay it off in a really grand, awesome way. And yeah, if you didn't like episode 6 with Jack Black and Lizzo, do you understand?
The last two episodes were incredible.
We now have 24 episodes. So guess what? If you have 24 television episodes, you're not going to like 2 or 3 of them. Grow up! Because this is television. This is the way it's been for a million years. Hell, Sopranos is one of my favorite shows of all time. I pretty much hate the whole season 4, except for the last 3 episodes with Christopher and his drug issues and stuff like that.
Oh, you didn't like season 4?
Terrible. They turned it into a soap opera with Carmelo maybe thinking about having an affair with Furio.
Oh, yeah.
That was the whole thing. It was awful. But Sopranos remains one of my great favorite shows of all time to this day. Why? Because bad episodes don't cancel out good episodes. Bad movie doesn't cancel out 9 other good movies. This whole little crybaby mentality. This is insane. Stop it. We've had 24 Mandalorian episodes now. You haven't liked 3 or 4 of them. Fine, you're allowed. But these people, they were after episode 6. They were ready to say this is the end of Star Wars. It's the end of The Mandalorian. It's get out of here. It's lost. I'm still seeing a couple of bloggers too try desperately to bring in that BS that they had prepared in their head before season 3 even premiered.
Yeah.
I called it here on Yaddle, Chattle. You all heard me say critics are going to be overly, constructive, overly critical. They're just gonna be annoying
sensitive
this year when it comes to The Mandalorian, because I could feel after Andor they were gonna put Mandalorian in the barrel, even though it's not the right decision, because two separate things can exist and be great at the same time. It's a very childish way to be like, now I like Andor, and so all of my Star Wars needs to be Andor. And by the way, I went back and looked up a few reviews from The Mandalorian. And guess what they were saying?
What?
No more Star Wars movies. On multiple reviews, people who were into The Mandalorian, critics, Rolling Stones, Entertainment Weeklies, like big time outlets were saying, well, this is the way to go. They should forget about the movies and only do The Mandalorian from now on. That was just 2019. 4 years later, we're saying, where are the movies? For whatever reason, modern day critics, bloggers, vloggers, I don't know if they're really, really stupid.
Yes.
Really close-minded.
Yes.
Really uneducated.
Yes.
Or just really simplistic, dull human beings.
Yes.
Who can't expand themselves for a little bit. Andor is vastly different than Mando, which makes them both awesome and ultimately really rewatchable. So this whole thing of, Mando is not good anymore. Mando is fantastic.
Yes.
If you can't get into those last 2 episodes, something's wrong with you. You're too cynical. You're not a Star Wars fan anymore. You no longer, and yeah, I'm going to go that far. Maybe not to Yaddle heads, but to everyone else. If you don't like those last 2 episodes, you're like, I don't like it, stop watching. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Star Wars community is going to be just fine without you. I want to start weeding out the people who only complain. Don't get me wrong. You have a real issue with a plot line, a character, a story, this or that, absolutely. But when your thing is to complain 100% of the time, to only complain, then it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
I 100% agree. You called it, like you said, that people were going to, Andor broke Star Wars.
Go ahead, you take over for a second. I'll be right
dumb
back.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
When the truth is, you have an excellent writer and directors working on the series, trying to put out great content that makes you feel like you were a kid again. And that's how I felt during those episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, watching Luke train Grogu.
Yeah.
It made me feel like a child again. Like, that's how happy I am. And, like, the last, like, every time I watch this show and it hits those moments, there's, like, this big shit-eating grin on my face. And I'm so happy because it's reminding me of being a kid and watching Star Wars on TV.
I think the good effect of Andor on The Mandalorian is, for me, I did feel this was the most cinematic of all 3 seasons and really had the best special effects of all 3 seasons. I thought they put a ton of money into how things looked, and it showed. I thought everything looked spectacular. Movie quality. I got something I'm going to throw at you.
Go ahead.
Before we get into the episode. I got 2 things. 2 things to resolve the Book of Boba Fett issue that we do have. We have. You had 3 like really important iconic moments between these 2 characters occur in a different series. That was a mistake. And we're hearing rumors that it's possible that Kathleen Kennedy did not want that to happen. And that Favreau kind of pushed that forward. Like, no, we're doing these Mando parts in the Book of Boba Fett. And maybe Favreau then should chill out. If that's why he's angry at Kathleen Kennedy, she was right. I'm going to tell you what we can do. Hold on. I got a great idea. I got 2 great ideas. One is really simple. It should be done tomorrow. And one is a little bit more extreme.
All right, what's the first one?
And Star Wars has a long history of rebranding, changing things. We just talked about a couple, retitling things. From now on, the Book of Boba Fett that's a stupid name. From now on, it's Boba Fett and the Man-dalorian. Nice and simple. It's Marvel, you get Captain America and the Winter Soldier. What's it about? Captain America and the Winter Soldier. You get WandaVision. What's it about? Wanda and Vision. That's how they do things. They don't try to trick you. It should be Boba Fett and the Mandalorian because that is what it is. And then on Disney Plus, I mean, seriously, get rid of the Book of Boba Fett's own little entry. And on Disney Plus, simply have it as like the third series. Third season. So in other words, when you're looking at Star Wars, when you're looking at The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, you would see season 1, season 2, Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, and then season 3.
Well,
that to me is a very simple thing.
I'm pretty sure.
What? Go ahead, talk. Go ahead, Jeremy.
I'm pretty sure on the behind the scenes of the Book of Boba Fett, Favreau straight up says, this series is Mando 2.5. And he admits that. Now, there are ways to rebrand it. They could easily go with, like, the Book of Boba Fett and then put something in regards to the Mandalorian.
Fuck the name, the Book of. It's Star Wars. We don't do that shit. Forget about it.
They put subtitles and everything.
No, I'm saying I don't even like the name the Book of. Stop. It's cutesy. It's stupid. Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. This is about the easiest goddamn way to fucking, like, not have Star Wars fans confused. Forget about us. What about fans 10 years from now? 15 years from now?
They'll put a thing out. And
20 years from now.
They do this all the time, though. They do. I see it on Instagram all the time. They're
do
like,
it now.
Okay.
Do it now.
Mando 1, Mando 2, The Book of Boba Fett, Mando 3, and then you're going to have...
They do what? Where is this?
There's lists of, like, the timeline. They explain out, like, what the watch list...
I don't need a fucking list! I just want it on my goddamn Disney Plus is what I'm saying. I don't know what you're talking about. Your brain is fried today.
I will send this to you and you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
What kind of list? What do you mean?
It's basically like a timeline and it explains, okay.
Yes, I know. I know. But what are you talking about? Where would I be seeing this? Where?
They should post that on, like.
See what I'm saying?
Why not?
Post it where?
On Disney Plus. Why not just post like, hey, you know, this is how you... No, because I'm pretty sure they did that with the Marvel movies. They're like, this is how you should watch the Marvel movies.
Right. Okay, I understand. Chronological order, they've done that fucking shit. God damn it. You're not seeing my fucking point,
No, I see your point.
Bro.
You see they should just rebrand it.
The Book of Boba Fett shouldn't exist at all.
It should just be Mando Part 2.
I'm not talking about the fucking show either. I'm saying the name and the fact that it has its own category, that the fact that it has its own box, that should not be the case. This fucking show is the third season, or at least 2.5 of The Mandalorian. So you call it Boba Fett and The Mandalorian. That's the name of the fucking show. So when you go into Disney Plus, okay?
That's a
you
great
go
idea.
to the Mandalorian section, you get season 1, season 2, Book of Boba Fett, and season 3. Right?
Yeah.
Not this fucking posting timelines, and so now I'm having to do more work. I don't want to do work.
No, I agree.
These fuckers fucked it up. Let them do the work for me. You see what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
God damn it.
Well, they actually put out...
Where did you drive today? Did you just drive all over New York and New Jersey?
No. It's just been a long week.
I know. As soon as I say stuff like that. All right. I know it's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
I know everything.
Yeah.
I'm a Sith. Don't forget.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a question here.
Go ahead.
How's your brain holding up?
It's fine. It's fine. What was the other point? So you said you rebranded.
That was the conservative method.
What?
I think that's a very easy method. The second thing is a little bit more extreme.
What's the second?
We take the last 3 episodes of Boba Fett and we simply make them the first 3 episodes of this year's Mandalorian. For future generations, this will be an 11 episode season. You did do episodes 5, 6, and 7 of The Mandalorian. I didn't want to include episode 7 originally because episodes 5 and 6 were real Mando. But at the same time, I have to include episode 7 because literally that is where Grogu and Din actually reunite. So we have to include that. So we do episodes 5, 6, 7 as episodes 1, 2, and 3. I mean, you probably could do just 5 and 6 because now that I think about it, episode 6 ends with Luke Skywalker saying to Grogu, you have to make a choice. And then they go to credits.
Cliffhanger.
Right. And then we could go to episode 1 of this year. And he does kind of explain he chose me. He does do that. But, then you're not getting a beautiful reunion. I'm just saying. So that's a more extreme thing that we could do is just repurpose those things and actually make them the beginning of this season of The Mandalorian.
I just don't know why people just didn't watch the series. It was good. I enjoyed it. It had some of the best Star Wars moments in Star Wars.
I agree with you. As a completist, though, it is weird that, like me, I'm someone who loves rewatching things, okay? I will go back and, 5 years, 6 years from now, I will go back and watch all of The Mandalorians in in order. And I don't want to have to go to a different fucking category. It's not laziness. It's like,
I guess
there's a fucking vibe.
But
it doesn't make sense. It wasn't the right decision to have those important events in a different series. You're not going to have Tony Soprano get whacked on Law and Order. Come on.
No, I get that. But, if you only watch the Marvel movies and you don't watch the television
Fuck
shows,
Marvel. Let's not look at Marvel anymore as a
counter.
A necessarily good inspiration. They're making more mistakes than Star Wars these days.
No, I agree.
I want to do things differently than fucking Marvel.
Okay, fine.
I think Star Wars is. With shows like Mando over here and Boba and Mandalorian, Mando over here and Andor over here, there's differences in them. And Marvel doesn't have a lot of differences in a lot of their movies.
Well, no, the point what I was trying to make was there's that movie, The Marvels, that's coming out. And unless you've seen WandaVision and Miss Marvel, you'll be like, well, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Because you didn't watch everything that
Yeah,
led
people
up
are
to that.
sick and that's something that Favreau has gotten credited with and Feige's gotten criticized with. People say that Favreau does do a good job of, hey, he'll give you maybe an Easter egg from the Clone Wars or Rebels, but if you haven't seen it, you are not going to be lost.
Yeah.
He will explain something very, very quickly. And Kevin Feige needs to connect everything because he wants everyone to watch everything on Marvel, and people are sick and tired of that. Because at some point it does become homework.
Yeah.
I have tuned out of the Marvel Disney Plus stuff.
So have I. I tuned out a while
it's
ago.
just not holding my interest anymore. Maybe just for some reason them killing Luke Skywalker, you shouldn't have fucking killed off Iron Man and everyone else, you stupid motherfuckers. All right, Mando.
Yes.
Finale.
We're going to jump right into
2 thumbs up.
2 9-thumbs up.
2 9-thumbs, way, way, way up. Mandalorians every... We almost forgot to do this. I have to do this right now.
Oh, no, I was going to do it at the end.
Okay, all right. We're going to give a shout out. Well, I'll tell you real quick. Shout out to Wedge for brand new Yaddle Chattle artwork. And now I'm just as schizo as Jared because I realized I was going into the Mandalorian season finale, and now I'm giving shout outs to Wedge. And so it's contagious. Your schizophrenia has now gone into me. Now
Thanks.
I can't stay focused. I want to thank you for that.
You are welcome.
Okay, but Wedge, we'll give you another shout out at the end of the show, hopefully. But if we forgot, there it is. Mando's everywhere. Mandalorians. The flying looks great.
All right.
Do you remember the original Superman movies?
Oh, yeah.
People take for granted how cool it looks to get people to fly around these days. I mean, Iron Man certainly, started that. But for a long time, just the mere act of a guy flying in the air was like the number one most difficult thing to do with CGI. Like, you could always fucking... Superman looked great. The special effects look great. Everything looked great. Those first two Supermans with Christopher Reeves. But when he's flying, it just looks goddamn silly.
Well, it's just a guy, like, being propped up or
yeah, like on wires.
On the screen moving in the background. But you know what?
It looks terrible. These fucking Mandalorians, they fly, and it looks so real. I feel like I'm really watching people fly around and stuff. I feel like I could put on a jetpack and do this shit. I really do.
It was a lot of fun. And I think that adds this whole other element that, like, people were complaining about. Oh, what's with the Mandalorians? Like, are you guys... No one's ever tired of Jedi and Sith.
Yeah, right.
We've had 40 years of Jedi and Sith.
Yeah,
no one's ever saying, I'm tired of Jedi and Sith.
My only counter to that is that Jedi and Sith have different faces. And when you're looking at a lot of Mandalorian helmets, even though they might be different colors, it's a lot of Mandalorian helmets. And so you're not getting personality. When you're looking at a Sith, looking at a Jedi, you're getting eyeballs, getting evil. Well, there's a connection there. It's a human connection. But go ahead.
But you notice that a lot of the ones that had the same color clearly came from, like, it was a clan.
No,
like
the blue ones came from Bo.
Yeah.
And then the other ones were almost intentionally different colors because I think the armorer wanted to set that up and go away from that whole blue thing.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be like that was the whole clan that they came from, because if you recall, like, going back to, like, Rebels and stuff like that.
I guess
Sabine's family had, like, it's supposed to be like knights and clans and tribes and all of that classic archetypes and tropes is supposed to be like the Ren clan, and they have colors and they have a certain kind of banner and like the myth, like a version of the mythosaur, like the Boba Fett's whatever clan that his family.
Please.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
His family comes from has those colors, or wherever Jango Fett. Well, because Jango Fett's colors were different from Boba Fett's, so there's a whole other thing with that as well.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think about it that much. I just thought she was.
Sorry.
No, I mean that's good. That's what Yaddle's here for. And you're probably right.
But like that's the whole point of like all of the classic mythology is that this comes from this clan or this tribe, and they have these cult and it's a whole other subculture.
Yeah,
it's fucking great, and I don't know why people are complaining.
Axe, he flied up. He was looking suspicious. He took controls of the ship. That one Mandalorian kept staring at him, like really kept staring at him hard. Like he didn't trust Axe at all.
Oh, I didn't.
Did you think Axe was gonna turn around and kill Mandalorians and turn on them?
No, I looked at it completely differently.
Okay.
I saw it like, oh, he might not make it. He's going to sacrifice himself for everybody.
That's how you took it?
Yeah, that's how I took it.
Okay. Because the eyes were a little bit beady-ish.
Well, he's like, are you sure you want to do, like...
Yeah. That was not that well communicated to me.
Oh, well, that's what I saw.
All right.
Like, he's like, are you really sure you want to...
But again, that's the smallest of things. I could care less. That's probably literally the only criticism I had is I didn't understand the kid kind of giving them the eyes. Unless they're trying to set us up to think that Axe was going to turn heel. And then at the end of the day, he stayed a good guy.
Yeah.
Grogu, he's there. Mando was in handcuffs and feet cuffs, and he gets out of it. And then Grogu helps him, and he's still hitting the... Now, does he hit the no and the yes with his feet? Because a couple times I did see him not hit the button. If that's supposed to be a button. I know this is really, really Like, again, who cares? But it's Yaddle Chattle. Let me do it. I feel like he's doing this, and then he hits yes or no like that with his foot.
It's possible, or he's using the Force.
Fair. I'll give you fair with the Force.
Okay.
They destroyed Gideon's clones. What'd you think about those things?
So I was kind of shocked about that whole thing. That was a great fucking twist. Because I thought the whole cloning thing was supposed to be about either the Emperor or
Snoke.
or
but both,
creating
yeah.
Snoke. And then when I was looking, and you didn't really see it from the shadow, I thought it was kind of actual clones, like the Fett,
Tamora Morrison clones.
Tamora Morrison clones. That's why I thought like maybe they were using that as the basis for the Avatar for Snoke, and they were like genetically engineering.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it was Giancarlo Esposito, I'm like, what?
That was fun. And, Giancarlo Esposito is incredible.
Oh, he's so great.
Incredible. After they got past the clones, they destroyed all of his clones. They run into those laser walls that we first encountered on Phantom Menace. Those things are awesome. Very cool looking. And I loved it. One at a time. Telling, and R5! R5 comes back and saves the day. Holy shit, who saw that coming?
His bolts dropped.
That was wonderful. So R5 came back, saved the day. I liked him also getting hit by the mouse droids.
Yeah.
And them doing sirens and telling on him. I don't know who they were telling. Everyone was out in the sky, fighting. But I suppose that's what they're used for, huh? They're little asshole spy droids, just spying or surveillance droids,
I guess.
hall monitors, if you will.
Sure.
So he took those guys down 2 at a time, wall by wall by wall. That part was fantastic.
It kind of felt like that's. I'm saying it's done before in a good way. Like it's a very much like.
Where? Not in Star Wars.
Not in Star Wars.
Well, then who cares? If you can't think about the example, it means nothing to us.
I guess the closest thing would be like something like Old Boy.
Don't know what you're talking about.
There's a Korean movie and an American version that Spike Lee directed.
Oh.
And it's with the American version's with Josh Brolin. And he starts taking on these guys, fighting them like goes down one level, then goes down another level.
Oh.
And he's just.
I'll have to rent it, but let's just keep it focused on the Man-dalorian there, Schizo.
Okay. No, but I'm saying it's like wave after wave almost. So that by the time he gets to like the boss, he's exhausted. That's like a video. It's almost like a video game.
No,
too,
it was
right?
awesome. It was well done. It was really well done. And again, the graphics looked great.
The whole fight scenes were well choreographed. Like it starts with he's unarmed. He takes 2 guys down. He picks up a knife, and then you see he's got a shield. And he's got the baton, and it's like a fucking knight.
No, it was awesome.
This is a medieval tale in Star Wars.
It was well done. Oh, and they haven't shied away from that. Finn has basically become a bit of a knight. At least he was a knight for Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
So after that, by the way, all the while this is happening, the Armorer and Bo-Katan are kicking serious ass. She is, that sky battle was unbelievable. And it went on for a long, long time. And it was, we saw, 1,000 Mandalorians battle each other in the Clone Wars. But to be able to do that in live action, again, seriously fantastic visuals.
What do they call that again, Dave? What do they call that? They call that a payoff.
Payoff. A payoff. I know, but it's the truth. We got all these guys. I mean, Jon Favreau.
It's a gigantic battle.
Payoff after payoff after payoff. For sure. And he knows how to do it. And again, I just got to say, for all the people who, I only want Andor. You're not getting anything like this episode in Andor. So if you only want Andor, you are eliminating some of the Star Wars fun. Yeah. Andor had amazing Star Wars intrigue. Star Wars mystery, okay? Star Wars even mythology, drama. But the Star Wars fun is where the Mando's at.
Yeah.
And don't you still want that? Jeez. So I thought it was great. I thought I was blown away by how great that fight in the sky looked. This is again what I'm talking about. Fucking Christopher Reeves, God bless him, man. I don't wish anything on him with the horse and the paralyzed. Is he alive or dead?
Oh, no, he died like 20 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Close to 20 years ago.
I don't want to think of it. Because I actually liked Superman. John Williams, by the way, did that.
Did the script.
But that looks goddamn silly.
Puzo wrote
Now
the
you've
script.
got 1,000 fucking stormtroopers and Mandalorians fighting in the air in a Braveheart-esque battle. How about the Braveheart shot? Which they do like 2 or 3 times in Braveheart, where you get all of the Scottish people on one side and then all of the English army on the other side, and that classic both of them come in and like people are flipping over each other. Lord of the Rings also did that too. Where the charge, where both and we got that in the air between Mandos and stormtroopers. My lord. Wow. What?
I don't know why anyone would complain
visuals?
about that.
No. If you're complaining, tune off.
Just turn it off.
Just get rid of your Disney Plus subscription. You don't need it. Just go back and watch the old ones. Those are the ones you like. I like them too. I just want to like new stuff. So you get So after that, you get Mando versus Gideon. And Moff Gideon, god damn. That guy he did it all. He put those droids, those evil battle fucking dark death droids, whatever their hell's their names are. That's his armor combined with Beskar.
He was a great bad guy.
What about the horns on the helmet? Is there any chance that Moff Gideon has some connection to Maul?
Maul, no. Well, no.
Man-dalorians from the Clone Wars.
Well, the thing was that he was trying to genetically engineer a clone of himself to have
the Force, which was great.
So maybe,
I don't know how that's gonna happen.
Maybe you might be right that he's kind of worshiping. He's taking the best of the Sith and the Mandalorian. And he thinks that that'll be the ultimate warrior.
That's what I'm saying. Those horns.
But I see everything that Favreau's trying to do, and he's 100% right. I've called it, and I'm going to continue to call it.
Ooh,
we're gonna see the growth.
Someone pepped up. All right.
We're gonna
57 minutes into the show, but I'm glad you joined us. Here we go.
We're gonna see growth.
At least we're gonna go out on a high note here.
We're
with
gonna
this type
see
of energy.
Grogu become everything that Moff Gideon wanted to be.
We're gonna see Grogu
as a good guy.
Okay. All right. That's a very big concept. Explain it a little bit more.
Well, he was taking all of the great parts of Mandalorian stuff, the weapons, the armor.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The fighting, and then he wanted to combine that with the force wielding of the Jedi Sith.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And
so ironically, Grogu is doing really it's not becoming, he is doing what Gideon wants to do. He is learning the ways of the Mandalorian and the ways of the Force.
Well, he's already Force sensitive, so because of that, he
Give yourself 1 point.
Thank you. So I think that's what we're going to eventually see.
Give myself 15 points for the coat I'm wearing today. I've decided to keep with the Star Wars jackets. Once it's always going to be a Star Wars T-shirt, but I'm going to be wearing one of my razzle dazzle coats that I like to wear. Usually I save these for the wrestling events that I participate in, but I feel like Yaddle Chattle is also a very smart place to feature these coats.
Sure.
And I do have like 3 or 4 of them. Now, I like that point. I like the fact that... Now, what did you think about Grogu losing his IG-88 buddy? Are we skipping to the end too much? All right.
No, he gets his... Bo-Katan comes and saves him because he's exhausted. And then Grogu gets separated by the...
Yeah, let's talk about that. The Praetorian Guard.
The Praetorian Guard.
Right behind us, huh? I just found this guy. Look at that. You like that? I just found him.
And you know what? The Praetorian Guard, the new design, is probably the best thing Rian Johnson did in all of it. I'll just give him that amount of credit, making them look
and
like...
Snoke's throne room was pretty badass.
Okay, those two things.
Snoke looked good, too.
Making them look like samurais instead of something out of Dune.
Snoke was pretty cool looking, I thought, with the gold robe. Anyway, continue. Well, okay. So we have... So the Praetorian Guard goes after Grogu. A wall comes between Grogu and Din Djarin. Din's screaming no because he thinks Grogu's going to get killed. That part was very, very powerful. That got real emotion out of Darth David. I gotta tell you, I was nervous as hell. Not that I'm thinking they're going to kill Grogu, but I'm just thinking. But I was unsettled. That's what I was. I was panicking.
About to be
I was panicking.
destroyed.
I was legitimately panicking. Knowing that there's no way that they can possibly kill this creature, but still feeling like he's going to die. And I don't know how they're going to do it.
That baby's in trouble.
Yeah. So I was nervous as all hell, but Bo-Katan came. She's gonna jump into the fight with Gideon. Says, "Go get Grogu." And Finn and Grogu together basically do the Praetorian Guard. He was so funny. Grogu just now uses the Force just to like annoy guys who are like going to pick up their gun, and he just does it so like the gun like moves 3 feet. So when the guy reaches down to pick it up, he's like, "Oh shit! Now I gotta walk 3 feet over there." Thanks a lot, kid. While he's complaining, Mando chops his head off. That's their strategy, I think. But I liked it. I love those guys.
Well, I thought what was great, and just to go back a bit, is he turns to him and he's like, before all this shit goes down, he's like, "I need you to be brave."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I know. It was amazing. Yeah. Golly, what a relationship. Bo-Katan, Darksaber. A lot of people were surprised with that. We got a lot of Darksaber in The Mandalorian, and like that, it's gone.
Again, I see what he's doing. He's playing chess right now, Favreau. He's setting everything up for the next arc, or several arcs down the road.
Well, do you think the Darksaber's really gone?
No, I think it's gonna come back.
I think it's gone.
I think
it's broken.
Okay, maybe that Darksaber might be gone, but I think that eventually there's going to be another Darksaber.
All right.
Because there's this whole prophecy going back to the Clone Wars about how like the person that the original Darksaber was a Mandalorian Force wielder, and I think that's what they're trying to do.
If I was Bo-Katan, I'd let that Darksaber go.
Well,
I would. There's too much controversy.
For her, yes, but
the Mandos are always, well, you didn't win it in battle, or you did win it in battle, and even the fact that she possesses it means that some fucking asshole could always just challenge her whenever they want for the Darksaber and rule the whole planet. No, get rid of that.
Well, I think they've also mission accomplished now. They've returned to Mandalore.
Yeah.
They've eliminated the threat from Mandalore.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So now it's like, well, we don't even really need it. It's very symbolic, I suppose.
Fair enough. So Grogu and Din get out of there, where they just destroyed the Praetorian Guard, and there's Moff Gideon, and it looks like he's about to either kill them or do something. When Axe flies in with the ship's on fire. He crashes it into the base. Huge explosion. Looks like that explosion has taken out Moff Gideon, and it could have taken out Grogu, Bo-Katan, and Din, but Grogu had a little force bubble, and the fire just went right over them. I thought that was a great effect. Fire is very difficult, they say, to do with computers. It can often look cartoony. And so Grogu doing that thing, and I thought it was a really cool effect. So I really enjoyed that stuff as well. What did you think about that?
Oh, I thought that was great. I thought the way they both looked at him as he was using, especially Bo-Katan.
This guy should be leading Mandalore. Fuck Bo and Din. Have Grogu in charge.
Well, now the question I have is, do you really think Moff Gideon's dead?
So I don't think he died. Now I've
so
watched it 3 times. The fire encircles him, but we know he has a jetpack. He could have flown backwards. Honestly, I'm not even trying to be cheap about it. He could have feel like, you know what? This is like, I gotta regroup here. They kicked my ass, and anytime you can fake a death in Star Wars is good. 100% of the time.
Absolutely.
Anytime you can fake a death, even if you're a good guy, bad guy, it don't matter. Anytime you can fake your death, you fake it. And he knew that all that fire came around him, and there was a huge explosion. But I'm thinking he sees that fire in front of him. He doesn't see he doesn't see Bo or Grogu or Din, so he knows they can't see him. And he just flies on back. He flies backwards. Hell, he flies down, flies somewhere. So I agree. I'm not 100% convinced that he is dead. Some people are saying he's dead. Dead. It's because Thrawn will take over now.
Well, you see, that's where I think what we're leading into for the next arc.
Ahsoka, yeah.
Well, not arc. I'm not even
for
saying
Mando.
Ahsoka. I'm saying for Mando.
I think the Ahsoka thing is going to be pretty important, though.
I was kind of surprised we A, didn't see Ahsoka, B, we didn't see Boba Fett.
Yeah, I think that they're confused about what to do with Boba Fett. It's another character that they're frozen on. They get frozen and shell-shocked when not 100% of the people, respond favorably to something, and they just freeze.
So maybe...
that's why they haven't made movies in legitimately 4 years.
I guess.
Because of the fallout with the sequel, and they just choked and froze. And that's, to me, I'm telling you, that's why Bob Iger is back. Because he's seeing all this. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Well, we believe that it can exist on... No, stop. Star Wars can exist anywhere. But it should be existing in movie theaters. And then if you want to make Disney Plus shows, do it. Because you're doing a great job. Holy shit. Anyway, let's get to the ending. He's back on Navarro. Grogu. Din. They're back.
Well, what they've done is they've set up the next arc. So hypothetically speaking,
yes.
Let's just say now Moff Gideon is dead.
Okay.
Right? So there's, in his little cabin, he's got a map. Or not a map, but he's got like some kind of display. Right? And he's got all of the other guys, the warlords.
Yeah.
So Gideon's got like a big red X through it. Now each other season will be him going after all the other the warlords.
That's not bad.
But I think that Hux will probably be the last one because Hux's warlord ship is going to be the unifier, bring back the Emperor.
No, I mean, that's not bad. That almost sounds like you want a whole different show, though, like a Moff Gideon show.
No. It's not going to be. It's each season now, I think, or arc is going to be. Now we're going to see the Grogu training. He's going to start taking out the warlord, the Imperial warlords that are remaining. Because that was the thing.
Boba Fett. I'm sorry. Mando and Grogu are going to go after the warlords.
Yes.
Of the Shadow Council that we saw.
Yes.
Gotcha. So those Shadow Council guys are going to go down one by one. And he's figuring that Gideon's already dead, so he doesn't need to go after Gideon. But Gideon will come back. That's not terrible. Give yourself 1 point.
I think that they caught for us because
minus 6 points. I gave you 1 point.
Thank you.
No. You did not say thank you instantly. You failed to say thank you immediately. That cost you all of your positive. You almost had it. We have like 2 minutes left in the episode. This was going to be the first episode you ever had a positive score. Now you're down to -4.
Well, I was just.
I tried so hard to give you a positive score today.
I didn't want to just stop mid.
-2. See how it happens? Now you're in a slump. -5. Before they get to Navarro, they do the baptism, the this, the that. He wants Grogu baptized, and she says no, so he's officially going to adopt Grogu. He's going to adopt that little baby. Isn't that beautiful? And she becomes the queen, I guess. They had the thing. Then they go to Navarro. They meet Grief Karga. He's got the brand new droid, or they gave him a droid to be the marshal. So they replaced Cara Dune with IG-88. That's how they solved that problem. Or IG-11 or 12, whatever the fuck he is these days. Because that's what she was going to... Cara Dune would have been in that spot.
Yeah.
Being the... So they went with the droid. Hey, man. That's one way to do it.
I suppose.
And then they end with one of the sweetest endings I've seen in television history. With him and a little hut, a cabin on a swamp. And there he is playing with the frogs. And we go, and it just goes right into black. Oh, God, that was good.
Now, there's one thing.
Oh, I loved it.
I would have actually liked to have seen at the end with when they light the furnace, the forge, would have been for everyone to take their masks off in unison. Like, now we don't have to, now that we're home.
No, you're not going to do that. You know why? Because Favreau and Filoni could still have some sort of weird Mando Civil War in the future.
Oh.
The Armorer and Bo, I'm not still 100% even.
Really?
I know.
Really?
I know.
Like, she's like...
I know.
She straight up almost usurped
I know.
Din Djarin.
I know.
Because it was his right as, like, the possessor of the dark saber.
I don't know what it is. I still feel like they don't trust each other 100%. And because of that, one of them may turn heel. I don't know. And it's not going to happen. I'm admitting it. At this point, that's not going to happen. Bo-Katan's not going to turn heel. She's probably going to get married to Din Djarin by the end of this whole thing. Okay? Let's be honest.
You think so?
They're the Sam Malone and Diane Chambers of Star Wars at this point. Come on. And Grogu's their little Woody, the bartender. But Armor, so mysterious. No face still. I thought we were going to get Armorer's face.
That's what I thought. I thought, like...
I thought you said to everybody.
Yeah, that she was going to be like, okay, we're...
No, I was thinking...
The forge was lit.
No. I'm thinking a way more intimate thing of just her and Bo-Katan.
Oh.
Like, Bo-Katan's over there, she's over there, and it's like, we will now, unite everyone as everyone should, and I will show you, whatever. But I love the ending at Navarro with Grogu floating the frog and the music. Everything was dead on. No post-credit scene. A little disappointed with that, but it's not going to kill the episode for me. The episode was amazing.
We know that he's already written season 4. He's probably already in
And I'm feeling good about it. Because just as you pointed out, season 4, we're getting back to basics. We're going to have Mando and Grogu, buddies, going on adventures, but these adventures will be him taking down Imperials.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there. That is a good setup for season 4. And I think, we've brought this up. And this will be my final word on some of the just the very nervous, panicky Pete's of Star Wars community and the Mandalorian watchers out there saying that after episode 6, Mando's over, the show's over, show jumped the shark. That phrase is jumped the shark. And all that shit. And it's a series was great. If you didn't love episode 7 and 8, you're kind of lying to yourself. At the bottom line, we have talked many, many times about the fact that Jon Favreau says he'd love to do this forever. So if Jon Favreau is looking at this as maybe a 10-season show, a 12-season show.
No, that's not.
Something huge. Just hold it. What I'm saying is you're going to have seasons where you go in much, much different directions. And usually it means that then the next year we get back to basics. This is common practice. Sopranos did one of those fucking things and it wasn't good in season 4. And in season 5, right back to basics. They introduced Steve Buscemi, a new guy. It was Tony, and it was just good old-fashioned mob shit. It wasn't Sopranos the soap opera with Carmelo and Furio in the fucking bathroom.
Oh, I always forget that.
But I think Favreau really does have an idea. He's got 24 episodes of Mandalorian now. And honestly, at least, 23 of them for me are awesome. Yeah, maybe the Jack Black and Lizzo cameo wasn't so great, but I still love the droid bard and the detective aspect of that episode.
I thought the episode was fine. I thought the whole thing now with The Mandalorian is who's going to pop up as what. I mean, the first bounty, isn't that Horatio Sands? And we were talking about that then. And then everyone was so shocked when Bill Burr,
I would go away from that.
That episode had Bill Burr and Clancy Brown as cameos.
Let me just say, I'd go away from that. Honestly. What I would do from Star Wars is stop doing that shit. Going forward, don't do any more of the, I'm going to get a pop singer or a big comedian. First of all, we've seen all the comedians we need to see. Like, stop it with the comedians. Here's what you should be doing. Get the great actors who you don't maybe always know their names.
Like Bill Sadler?
But you know the face. I mean, years ago, but now he was nominated for Academy Award. But we're talking like your Paul Giamatti. Hell, I just brought up Steve Buscemi. Or different men and women actors who aren't, your A-list Brad Pitt, George Clooney's. But these are great fucking actors that we've been watching. And yet we don't really know their names. The perfect example was Stellan Skarsgård. Like, I hate to say it, I didn't know the guy's name was Stellan Skarsgård. No, I've been watching him for 30 years. Hunt for Red October he was in. Good Will Hunting, obviously the Thor movies. That's a perfect example of the type of person they need to be getting. Don't use the Jack Black and Lizzo as don't use those roles.
You got to get that. I know that guy. I know that guy.
But I want it to be good. Like, give me some real actors. You can get real actors doing these things.
Like Richard Kind.
Do it. And if you want to do a cameo, you know what you do? You put Jack Black or Lizzo simply at the fucking table eating. But they're not the stars of the thing. Maybe she's throwing chicken nuggets into his mouth, like Blues Brothers type of shit, I'm just thinking outside the box. But that's how you do a cameo. It's like, oh, look at that. There's David, there's Jack Black. You don't have him take over the whole scene and with important dialogue.
No, I see what you want is basically, I know that guy, I know that woman. But
I want someone of substance too, not just that I know him. But this is a fine actor.
But those actors are fine actors, but they're like great character actors. Right. Like there's always the guy who died, J.T. Walsh. He used to play executives, senators,
Sling Blade. He was at the beginning of Sling Blade and A Few Good Men. He's Nicholson's right hand man on A Few Good Men.
Yes,
that guy's awesome. That's a perfect example.
Powers Booth.
Yes, Powers Booth.
He could play either the tough gruff guy,
the guy who is not Ed Harris, but looks like Ed Harris from Die Hard 2 and The Rock with Nick Cage. He was the bad guy in that. And
Ed Harris?
No, that's the guy who looks like Ed Harris. Oh, he's also in Shawshank Redemption. He's like the stupid guy in but he is a part of their crew. He was the bad guy in Die Hard 2. You ever see that one?
That's Bill Sadler.
Who the hell is Bill Sadler?
You just said he's the bad guy in Die Hard 2.
Yeah. That's my point. He's not fucking Ed Harris. Everyone calls him poor man's Ed Harris.
Oh, I've always known him as Bill Sadler. But he played Death in the Bill and Ted movie, right?
I know. Bit killer. No one fucking knows Bill Sadler.
Really?
So you know what? Let's end the bit killer.
Oh, damn.
Because you never know how to fucking just keep going on like a person.
Oh.
I love you so much, though.
I thought you really did.
I didn't know who that fucking guy's name is.
I said Bill Sadler in the beginning, and you were like, "Oh, everyone knows who he is. He was nominated for an Oscar now." You literally just said that 5 minutes ago.
No. Oh, okay.
I was like, oh.
When you piped in, I was talking about Paul Giamatti.
Oh, Paul Giamatti.
I'm so happy we're getting next week off.
Me too.
I think we need it.
Yes.
I think you need to recharge the batteries.
I definitely
You're sort of like a droid where every single fucking wire is crisscrossed right now.
It's not. I'm fine.
But it is.
I just need a recharge.
You do?
Just tired. It's been a long day. But I agree. You need really good character actors that could be like Timothy Olymplant was a great
That's
example.
The perfect guy. Yes, any of these guys. Maybe they're great TV guys. Maybe they're great Game of Thrones or Sopranos people. I don't know. Or maybe they're just really great actors and they don't always have that thing. They don't get the name over the movie.
They're not marquee actors. They're working man actors.
Yeah. So that's what I would like to see going forward. Stop it with unless the celebrities can contribute something cool. Christopher Lloyd I was okay with because that made sense. He was an old guy. He was a separatist sympathizer. I was like, okay, this actually makes a lot of sense, and actually it's kind of cool.
Everyone's been cool with Carl Weathers as
Carl Weathers is great. No, well, then he's not a cameo. He's a fucking part of the cast, stupid.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay. I thought originally it was supposed to be like a cameo that they kind of...
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No. No, if you're a part of the cast, you don't count as a cameo. I'm talking about the one and dones real quick.
Okay.
All right? You have a Star Wars cage match that we can do and get out of here real quick?
Sure.
All right. Oh.
Yes, I do. I really liked Moff Gideon. I was like, this guy is fucking great.
Oh, he's fantastic.
But I was thinking...
Love him.
Who would make, like, I'd really want to see him fight. And I said, keep it Mando-wise, Jango Fett. Because when I saw Jango Fett for the first time, I'm like, man, he's so much better than his son. He kicks so much fucking ass. And I want to see the two of them just duke it out.
It's not bad. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. It's a good fight for a change. At the end of the day, I just think that I gotta go with Moff Gideon. Because I think that suit's got more power. It's a good matchup, though. I'm strictly going on the fact that when he took the dark saber, which should be pretty strong, he was able to crush it with his hands.
Well, that's because he's got that super suit.
That's what I said. This is wait. We've never had the stipulations. These guys are naked. He's going in with that suit, and fucking Jango is going in with his suit.
That's fine. Jango went toe to toe with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like outwitted him. Yeah.
He had his head chopped off by Mace Windu. As far as Kenobi goes, I sort of feel like that was a tie, if anything.
He got away.
And Obi hunted him down. I don't see either is victor there. You brought up the wrong example.
You think so?
I think Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Jango Fett was a tie, a stalemate. Draw. No clear winner there. But Mace Windu did chop his head off. So if Mace Windu can do that, I feel like Moff Gideon can do that.
All right, fine.
Go ahead.
Huge shout out.
Yes, we're going to end with a huge shout out. Wedge, the Yaddle Chattle artist, did some amazing Yaddle Chattle artwork of myself and Jedi Jared. See it at Eastside Dave on either Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Eastside Dave to see Wedge's work. It's from a few days ago. I posted pretty much all of the pictures. Really cool stuff that he's doing with the AI art and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. That being said, you can also check us out wherever podcasts are available. Go over to patreon.com because we're going to get that episode out soon of Tales from the Satellite. So patreon.com/EastsideDave.
Patreon.com/EastsideDave. You need to be subscribing right now because we are coming out with a lot of stuff.
I'm going to ask for one thing.
Oh, here we go.
Everyone tell one friend just to listen to one episode.
Yeah.
That's it. You tell
word of mouth.
One friend who likes Star Wars.
In all honesty, we're kicking ass on every level. Yaddle Chattle really is kicking ass. Davey Mac Sports Program's kicking ass. The new show, Tales from the Satellite, will drop later on this month, baby. We only got 10 days left in the month, so it's going to be here.
It's coming soon. Soon.
That's it. He's Jedi Jared. I'm Darth David. Remember, no show next week on the 28th. We'll be back the following week. May the Force be with you.